And start to look at some of these contests here with the Bulls and the Pace. Try to get the latest numbers here. These were as of about 6:30 a.m. Eastern, 3:30 a.m. Pacific. When I got up to prep for this show, to get ready for you guys. All right. Thomas, don't change because of me. Hello to Mike here today as well. Mike, thank you very much for coming and appreciate the nearly 4 dozen in you here, and also those of you that have joined me on the videos or the replays. All right. Pacers -3. This total, boy, this total is going through the roof. This totals up to 230 here between the Bulls and the Pacers on Monday. This isn't some Eastern Conference game from the old days with these two here, and I don't know. It looks like it's going to go over to me as well. Man, this thing really paying the price here, but I'm not sure I can go under, and I don't know. I might like the side, so I might just want to give out the total over here right now because that's the way I think it's going to go. And now I've got to go over 230. Oh my goodness. Well, I'll just give that as my play here on the show. I'll go over with the Bulls and the Pacers. These two teams have already been going over a little bit so far this season in just a few games now. Um, Look, this team's been coming rolling in on the over this morning. I'm not saying that um, these guys are always right, but in this matchup where so far the Pacers coming in 2-0, by the way, break them up here, but this has been a series that has been a like a pretty strong under series of late. 20 of the last 28 meetings have gone under, and this is a series. They meet several times a year. However, the Pacers are 9-2 to the over in their last 11 games, dating back to last season. The Pacers so far they went over at Cleveland. They beat them 125-113, and of course they hammered Washington 143-120. So Pacers have been putting up. Remember, they didn't make the playoffs last year, but they were putting up a lot of high scores at the end of last season. Now I know we were dealing with some pretty ridiculous numbers there, but the Pacers, maybe this is the way they play the game at this point. For Chicago, they did go over in their last game. That was a loss to Detroit on the road. Total was 213. It went to 220. Now, before that, they had an overtime game against Toronto that was under, but they went over against Oklahoma State in a 20-point loss. So they've gone over in 2 of 3 games so far this season. Here comes some of the uh, plays from you guys. Man, you guys are going to be hot in the NBA this year, so this is going to be fun. It looks like we have a lot of opinions, a lot of fans. It's going to be easy for me. Hello to Ron here today as well. Check out Ron here on Tony's Picks. Always coming in. He joined us as a capper, and his premium plays are up uh, on our site. His premium plays are available on our site. So thank you, Ron, for being part of the team. Uh, Double says Pacers scoring late, but the Bulls not so much. And what I said, I don't know, Doubles, if you were here, everybody wanted to talk about the team meeting. I said, good. They said, oh, if you have a team meeting after the first game, you might have a problem. Well, yeah, it did look a little bit pouty to a certain extent of what went on, but if I'm gonna have a team meeting, I'd rather have it in after game number 1 than game number 80. Let's get on the same page. Then what happened? They bounced back, and I had the Bulls in that next day. So team total over here for doubles. Fernando says, give me the Bulls to bounce back. No comment on that soccer show, huh, Fernando? All right. I don't know. Maybe uh, Mike says this one's right on today. Solo's on the Pacers, and I am on the over here in this one. And I'll probably be looking in a little bit here at the Bulls. Maybe we'll see what happens. But give me the over here at 230. Uh, wow, 230 in this one. I don't think I could go premium now. I was liking the over quite a bit at that 226. And, I'm just doing the show and I look up, there's some steam on the over. And, well, hey, it is what it is. Good job by the Sharps. And maybe we can tag along here a little bit and take the over. The Nets are going to try to get their first win of the season when they take on the Charlotte Hornets tonight. The Hornets with a win so far this season. And for Brooklyn, they are coming off a loss to Dallas. They did cover the spread in that one. They lost 125 to 100, getting 6 points in a game that went well over the 230 points in that one. The reported steam did come in on the under in this game, but right now I'm showing it right now at Brooklyn -1, and the total here down to just 228. But let's at least put the odds here on Brooklyn as a 1-point favorite now. I don't know if there's too much to this one as far as the line movement's concerned, but you want to indicate that Brooklyn has moved to a 1-point favorite. The Hornets, of course, last time out, they lost at home to Detroit, 111 to 99. So they did get the money in a win and cover in their first game against Atlanta. Comments from you guys now, and here's Ray says, give me the Hornets in this one. And I'm showing it maybe even 1.5 right now at some spots as the Nets line kind of continues to go up a little bit. Here's Solo on the Nets, and Jay says, give me the Nets as well. And I, have some concerns about the Nets moving forward. Mike says Hornets look good. All right. Let's see here. Any more? Get it, Hornets. Oh, yeah, you can. It's kind of, yeah, net. They both have the word Nets in the name, I think. I don't know if that's what he meant, but that's what I better just stick with here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, because we don't get off on. I was on some shows this weekend, and some of those fun shows, those live shows where the humor gets a little salty, or I don't know how else to describe it. But it's fun. So I'm going to end up here I'm going to take the Hornets, you guys, here in this one. Let's see. Jay's on. You guys might talk me off of it. I'm worried now. You guys might talk me off this game a little bit, it feels like. All right. Give me the Hornets here. I was probably going to go premium on it, but I see so many of you guys on the Nets here. I guess I'll just, I respect you guys so much that I'm going to cancel my premium on the Hornets, and I'm just going to go with it on the show. So you see how I operate a little bit. I respect you guys so much. I'm not going to get off my pick. I'm not going to switch. I'm not going to, because I was going premium, I think, on the Hornets. You guys really like the Nets. Okay, I shouldn't let anybody and stick with your guns. But you guys do seem to like the Nets here. Um, I was thinking Hornets here, but I'm going to respect you guys. And tomorrow, just say, hey, we told you, Ramon. We told you. And I'll say, yep, you guys said it. But, I got uh, Bridges here. I don't know if he'll be able to have have his typical game. Um, I certainly think Thomas can have a pretty good game. I think Rozier could have a good game for the Hornets. Celtics and the Wizards in this one. The Celtics, a double digit favorite here on the road against the Wizards. And why not? I mean, the Celtics. Um, yeah, can they get some double digits here early on? Um, we have seen some big time blowouts already, but it really looks like it's been of those really bad teams. Um, Houston, San Antonio, and where do you put Washington uh, necessarily in the mix with these teams right now? Here with Celtics on the road. I think you guys are already coming in with some of your comments here in this one. No, not yet. Oh, here's Solo going to be on the Wizards here. So for me, with the obviously the big price that you have to lay here has me scared necessarily. Yeah, we've seen some big time uh, you know, blowout so far. Yeah, Boston 2-0 so far. Washington does have a win. Here is Dre wants to take 10 points. Ferner says, I'm not laying 10 points with the Celtics right now. Look, like I said, Celtics are 2-0. What's their spread record? 0-2 or 0-1. Some people, did anybody get the money? They're probably 0-1 I think, for the most part, but it was close enough, right? Here's Ray says he wants to go over in the game here tonight for Boston. They're off the win at home against the Heat. Like I said, I think they were favored by 9, and then the game against the Knicks. What did you guys have that one at? 4. If it was 4, it was 3.5. It was 4.5. So let's see. Making sure, checking the break, you see if there's a real break. Hey, the undergrads here today. Awesome to have you, undergrads, ready to roll for the college basketball season. It's going to be great. Can't wait. We're already seeing. We saw an upset. We saw the big upset last night, undergrads. What happened, Ricky Pitino? And what is going on here? Uh, who Hope College won over Ricky? So, all right, Mike's going to add a couple of points here. Make sure he gets the win in this one. So, all right, I guess I better pull the trigger, and I want to take Washington plus the points. I mean, come on, I'm not passing up on double digits in a division game. I don't care right now, and we'll just see. But give me the points with the Wizards. Come on. Um, do the Wizards have issues like Houston and San Antonio? It might not be as quite as awful, right? I mean, you still got. You figure Kuzma can have. I think Kuzma against Brown against Brown. Probably Kuzma can have a big night. Look, I don't think. I think some of these guys, uh, you know, on Washington can have a good night. Now, not having Gafford, if he's not in there, I know he's on the on the report. So, like to see his status, but I don't want to take up too much of your time here on the show. Something I didn't necessarily research, but total here down to 229 all of a sudden. Gafford questionable with that ankle injury. We know Shemet is out. We know Davis probable. So that would work. Uh, uh, Avja is not going to be able to do much, I would think, against Tatum, so he's a non-factor. But Kuzma, I would think Jones. Look, Tyus, say what you want about Drew, but takes a lot of time off there on the court defensively. So I think the Wizards have some offense here, and I think they also probably can. I think Kuzma can play with Brown defensively a little bit. Watch out for Washington here. I'm gonna sprinkle the money line. I don't care. I'm gonna take them. Oh, I don't say. I don't like people who say I don't care. We care. Why do I do that? Hey, here's Jay says take the Wizards. Mike says anything Washington's lit. Like what, Mike? Like what is lit and what? The Commanders, the Capitals, the Nationals. Anyways, I'm teasing you, Mike. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, interesting, right? Okay, I'm gonna take it. I'm taking the Wizards. Let's go. Let's go, Wizards. Get 10 points. Trailblazers here and Raptors. This is NBA action for Monday. And you have the Raptors favored here by 8.5 now, and the total 217. So the Raptors line moving up here on Toronto with the Trailblazers. We saw, look, missing one of their good young stars. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You have Portland. Can we put Portland down there with Houston, San Antonio? Yeah, we probably can. Not only 0-3, but 0-3 to the number at this point. So Toronto 1-2, but they do have a couple of covers so far this season. But well, this line's starting to get away here a little bit from 7 up to 8.5 now here at home with the Raptors. So, but what I was saying was you got a young budding star Anthony Simons out of the Simons like Anthony Simons out of this game for uh, Portland. Pardon me. Uh, pretty good talent, certainly, and missing him. Let's see what you guys have. Hey, John Holland. Hello to John here today, and appreciate you very very much for giving me that locked in on the under. It's nice to have you. Maybe you've been here before. Looks like you know what you're doing, and appreciate that very much. Solo does not like Scoot Henderson. Um, I'd say Solo is in the, I don't know, minority. I don't want to say like that. I think that most people do think that Henderson is a good prospect. Um, I think the jury's going to be out for a while on this one because of the team itself. It's going to be really tough, right? Jay wants to lay the points here with the Raptors. It's getting into some dangerous territory. It feels like for me all of a sudden here, Jay, with the points going up. That's the way I was kind of leaning here on the show, was to maybe lay the points, but I think instead, and I don't want to do. Look, we got a new. I don't, John. Have you been here before? But I'm going to go with John. I already had the under as a possible target here for a premium, and while I don't know if I was ever going to get there, I do like the under. I feel like the sharps are on the under so far, especially coming down now to 217, and I'm going to take it. in this one. And just because I haven't done it for a couple of days, oh, thank you, John. You have been here. Yeah, sorry if I missed or forgot that you were one of our regulars from before, but maybe you've just been gone for basketball season and you're back right now. Furner sees it very, very low. So, hey, for John, I just want to do, I just want to, I love doing this, and I don't know if I'm a goofball or what, but let's win and all right. Love doing that. All right. I'll take the under here with the Blazers and the Raptors. All right. The T Wolves are going to take on the Hawks tonight. Basketball here on Monday. We've seen some widely reported steam already come in on the under, but they bought it back right away. And we're seeing a two-way action currently from the Sharps. And it looks like all over the industry here. Minnesota, a 2-point favorite. And the total here has dropped significantly to 231 and a half on a 3-point move. But looks like the buyback is in too a little bit on the over here. I'm not necessarily, uh, you know, uh, ready to commit on this total, especially with a 4-point move. I'm going to have to wait and kind of let it shake out now. It feels like a little bit for me. Let's maybe get into some of the stats and see what you guys have to say with the Timberwolves and the Hawks here tonight. This one opened. I haven't seen too much movement actually here at all. Minnesota comes in at 1-1. The Hawks are 1-2 so far, both straight up and against the spread. Minnesota coming off the 106-90 win at home against Miami. Both their games have gone under so far this season for Atlanta. They walloped Milwaukee. Remember the upset victory for the Hawks over the Bucks yesterday. So they're on the back to back here in this one, but they are back home at least in taking on the Timberwolves, who have played one road game and one home game. You guys have a lot of comments on this one. Let's get into it. And here is the Timberwolves here for Thomas. Dre is going to lean Minnesota in this one on the road. Thomas says he likes Atlanta's scoring. He likes Atlanta's scoring right now, is what that looks like he's saying here. Mike may be leaning the under, but Ray says, give me the Wolves and over. Hmm. And Jay says, Hawks +2. Hawks on the back to back, but getting points with Atlanta is what he wants to do today. All right. Appreciate that. We got a few more here. John says, going to lean the Timberwolves. They're going to look ahead here with the Nuggets. Ferner says, lean on the Timberwolves with the rest day. And Darren says, T Wolves. Solo on the Wolves. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, that back to back spot would kind of, I would think, kind of have me worried to a certain extent. And also, but interestingly, this buyback has me perplexed because I was prepared kind of to tail this steam a little bit, but the buyback is pretty sharp. I don't want to talk over anybody's head here. I'm just looking at my own notes and the line movement. And I'm going to end up on the Hawks here at home, even on the back to back. Yeah, I'm getting a couple of points here in this one, so I'm gonna side with Atlanta at home against the Timberwolves, getting these points. When I look at the, I know what you guys are saying, but when I look at the matchup, I think, I Trey can have a big day. I think Hunter. I think Capella. I'm down on Murray in this matchup against Edwards. Edwards probably set for a pretty strong performance, probably a pretty big performance for Edwards here in this one, but also Towns a big day. Conley, I've got the down arrow on him. So, and also it looks like McDaniels. Let me see. He's got an injury designation. It looks like coming in. Um, he is questionable. All right. I'd say McDaniels is the most significant of the injuries that impacts the game. The other two are uh, minor are two. You know, McDaniels to me is the one I'm concerned with. All right. I'm making the play on Atlanta. The Detroit Pistons on the road, taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder here, and the Thunder are up to a 6-point favorite. The total down to 225 here on Monday. Thunder getting some attention from bettors, up to 6. And this total now, like I said, at 225 here tonight. And with these Pistons on the road. All right, let's take a look at this one now. This one opened. Oklahoma City opened as low as a 5-point favorite here, so we're seeing a little bit of move on them. The total opened as high as 228. You have uh, coming into this game, Detroit with a record of 2-1. They've been a pretty pleasant surprise so far. Uh, Thunder also 2-1, coming off a loss. Now we did try to get on them against the Nuggets, and that was a no go, no good, no bueno. In that one, the Nuggets ended up pounding the Thunder in Oklahoma City by 33 points in that game last night. So whatever was going on, yeah, was it a mismatch? Sure. Detroit, they often do very well in this series. Now it is an East-West, so they only meet, a couple of times, a year um, in this series. And I don't know. For me, coming off that big, big loss again, playing Detroit, uh, I do sometimes want to respect a season series numbers like this. I don't worry sometimes about even if it's a twice a year thing. Like I said, people say, "Oh, they only meet twice a year." To me, it has to do with how that team or program travels into a city and arena, the comfortability of the whether it's a practice facility or schedule or game times or whatever. To me, has a lot to do with certain things, but I think after a huge loss like that, I would think the Thunder probably come back and can get this money. Trey's going to take OKC. Thomas is going to take Detroit. Ray says take the Thunder to bounce back. And Jay says the Detroit Pistons. He loves betting on Oklahoma City, but the back to back and now is a chalky favorite. And Detroit's done a good job. He sees a close one. Yeah, I agree with every thing about those statements. I just when I think of a team that just suffered a 30-point loss to a world champion, um, I'm 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 gonna go against my man Jay here. I'm gonna lay the points tonight. with the Thunder and lay 6. And I'm pro Pistons. I think I've made that clear here. I obviously, hey, look, we think Cunningham, obviously strong, good player. We want to see him be a successful talent moving forward. Um, I think Jalen Duran is in a great matchup here, and I actually worry a little bit about the man. It's more of the spot for me is Thunder because of the 30-point loss yesterday. Like I said, I mean, if feel like it was nondescript, if the Thunder had won the game, and again, I had the Thunder, or I think we had them on the show, but SGA, it's a tough, I think it's a tough matchup for SGA. I think Killian Hayes is underrated defender. Holmgren, we'll see, but I'm still going to take the Thunder here off of that loss. Basically, I'm I'm going off of that loss. Ray says go over here. The widely reported steam has definitely come in on the under. This one opened as high as I said, 228. Now we're dealing down to 225. So the move here has definitely been on the under, and I appreciate. Ray, I might actually. Well, I better just leave it alone. Let me not comment on the total if you know what I mean. The Dallas Mavericks are going to take the Memphis Grizzlies. NBA action for Monday night with Dallas on the road, favored by 2.5. The total is up to 228.5 here with Dallas favored in this one over the Grizz. The reported steam did come in on the over in this game. It opened as low um as low as I'd say 227 ish. Now let's break down this matchup just a little bit and see where these teams stand currently. With, uh, I don't want to say going two teams going in opposite directions because we expect Memphis here to get a win soon. 0-3 right now. They did cover one of those matchups. This has been a totally under series in the past. In fact, 7 of the last 8 meetings between Dallas and Memphis, and this is a pretty frequent series, have gone under the total. Now, Dallas has gone over in both games so far. They beat Brooklyn, although they did not cover. 125 to 120 is a 6-point favorite. They won at San Antonio as a 4.5-point favorite. Got the money in that one. As far as the Grizzlies are concerned, they lost at Washington as a 6-point as a pick 'em, I think it was, or maybe they're favored by one or whatever it was. It was a closely rated game and they lost. They also lost to Denver in a game that they got the money. However, I will say it like that. So let's get your comments in here and your picks on this one. Grizzlies game to go over for Ray. Oh, he does like that. That steam there to go over. How about that? And let's see here. We've got Jay. He says Dallas minus 2.5. Memphis plays tough. They play gritty, but they don't have enough. No Morant, no Steven Adams, and it does not like Dallas as a road favorite, but he might trust them here. And we know that it's built into the line, or it's here's a Um, so, Jay, here's something else. This isn't pointed at Jay or anybody necessarily. But one thing that's always said, and I've been trying to debate this a little bit of late because I maybe have been guilty of it to a certain extent, right? There's Dre on Dallas and Mike on Dallas, Solo on Dallas, Ferner on Dallas, everybody on Dallas. But they say, oh, well, that's all baked in. Is it really baked into the line? Maybe we think of, you know, my old adage. I have a, you know, thing that I call, are we sure, or do we think they're good? Kind of the thing to me. A team that is off to a surprising start, or have they been good in the past, right? And you're like, we don't know yet, and we don't know what a team is like without a player like a Morant. Sometimes, like I said, some of these players make you worse when they're in, not because they're terrible players, but the chemistry's bad, or they're overvalued that player, right? I mean, that's what I think about uh, when I see it. So I think I'm going against Ray here. I'm on the under in the game between Dallas and Memphis. I'm going to fade that steam here tonight. I'm trying to find a rhythm a little bit in the hoop, and I'm getting a little bit of value here at 228 and a half. Like I said, uh, I think for me, when you see a series history a little bit, and um, that series history kind of relates to teams that play more frequently, right? Seven of the last eight have gone under, basically, you know, the last several meetings with this. Maybe not this raw, think of Morant being out, but and Adams. Okay. Okay, here's the Warriors at the Pelicans, and the Warriors going on the road here in this one. They're an underdog to the Pelicans. The Pelicans are minus 4.5 now, and the total 227.5. Better update these lines, man. Wow, 4.5, 227.5. So 3.5 point move to the under here in this one, and a point and a half move to the Pelicans. Oh boy. All right. Might want to take a look at what's going on here in this one. The reported steam did come in, obviously, on Golden State and under. And I'm not just saying that. Now, I said that total, had moved uh, significantly from 230, whatever it was. It was 233 on the earliest of openers for the Golden State New Orleans game. So that's like a 6 point move to the under here in this one. And I don't know. For me, there's not a total um, injury list or injury bug that I can think of. I mean, there are a few injuries certainly on the dotting the New Orleans lineup right here, and you have I don't know. I don't see significant injuries here, maybe to warrant such a move. What do you guys have? Am I missing something on these totals here in this one? Let's take a look at your comments. Here's John on the here's Jay says it's moving up. It's on the Pelicans. John's on the Pelicans. Dre's on the over. Ray said I took it last night $1.24. Ferner's on New Orleans here. And Jay's comment does not trust Golden State on the road in the back to back following the win. All right. Um, I guess I know. I just got to go with the under. I mean, I like the under. I wanted to come in on the under. Maybe I was going premium under. I missed all these points with the under. These teams are kind of going under so far, as it was said right there by. Well, no one said it necessarily, but yeah, New Orleans 2-0. They've won at home. Um, Let's see here. New Orleans 8-10 to the under as a favorite. They've also gone under in 21 of their last 27 games, dating back to last year. I will take the under, under. Pelicans. Who for Darren? Who wrote the book of unders? All right. I did see just a few minutes ago after we talked about the Oklahoma City Detroit game that some steam has been rolling in here on the over to take it back up to 225. All right, the Miami Heat are going to take on the Milwaukee Bucks, and what a series here! This was a let's see, with the Bucks coming off their surprise loss, if you will, here, but they're still going to be favored minus 5.5, and the total is up to 224 in this one, with the Bucks favored here against the Heat. And let's dive into it a little bit, especially like I said with the Bucks coming off of a surprise loss to Atlanta. But hey, this is the NBA. The last 8 meetings between these two teams in Milwaukee has gone over the total. Interestingly enough, for Miami. They are coming off of a 106 to 90 loss at Minnesota. They also lost at Boston and now are playing their third straight road game. They're off a couple of nights off or a night off, a night off, but um, let's see what you guys already commenting on. Take the Heat here. Take the Bucks to bounce back. Take the Heat here. Milwaukee is coming off of that 127 to 110 loss, is what it was. That was a big shocker. Philadelphia did win their opener, but Philadelphia did win the opener. Yes, Milwaukee won the opener against Philadelphia by 1 point. Philadelphia covered the spread in that one, so Milwaukee a couple of spread losses so far. If anything, it does feel like maybe Milwaukee continues to be a little bit overvalued to a certain extent, doesn't it? But don't want to necessarily hear off of a big loss like that. Maybe get in their way necessarily at home. So this one, to me, looks a little bit tough here. I'm going to take a sneak peek at the line movement, not the general line movement. I think that one kind of is pretty obvious here, with the spread having opened up at 5.5 or so, or 6. So the move has definitely been to Miami and and to the over. So all right, and let's see. You guys look like you like the Heat here in this one. And man, all right. Well, I'm gonna end up on the over here in this one. What is Mike saying here with this? I don't know what that means, but I'll just show it. Give me the over with Miami and Milwaukee. I feel like I'm giving out some of my premiums, so hopefully these are good. Let's take a look at the Jazz and the Nuggets here, with the Nuggets a big favorite at home against the Jazz by 8 now. And the totals dropped here significantly to 227.5. That's at least a 3-point move here. We got the Nuggets as an 8-point favorite in this one. They opened as low as 6.5. Total opened as high as 231, and now we're dealing with this 227.5. And for me, let's see. Widely reported steam did come in on the under here. Obviously, I'm missing out on a ton of points here, but opened 231, and now we're down to 227.5. The widely reported steam on the under, and I wasn't buying it. I think I've got some value here all of a sudden. Um, see what you guys have to say in the comments here. Nothing just yet, it looks like. I'm on the over here. If anybody has any questions, I don't like this move to the under, quite frankly, and I think I'm getting some value here with the over. I'm going to look to go over with Utah and Denver. I'll respect the move, but only giving me some more value. Now, here's the deal. Jazz and Denver, this is a total under series. 20 of the last 27 meetings have gone under, but you look at Utah, look what so far. Uh, they gave up 126 points at Phoenix. They had a game, their game went for 238 against the Clippers, 230 against Phoenix, 244 against Sacramento so far. They were going over in those games last. They didn't make the playoffs. They were going over at the end of the season last year. So I know the Nuggets have gone under in both games so far, but they're also, just uh, well, 2-1. Their defense has been very strong. We know that. They gave up just 95 to OKC, 104 to Memphis, 107 against the Lakers. That's three unders in a row for them. But I think here I'm they're going to push this under. I'm going the other way. Let me see if it was wide. Let me see if it was steam to the under or just a move to the under for Jazz and Nuggets. Well, it definitely was widely reported steam. Yeah, I did note that already, but I don't know. I'm going to take the over here in this one and think they got. Uh, I would tend to side with Utah on the road. I would tend to side more with the over in this game. I'm gonna fade the sharps here, I think. Here's Jay on Utah and Ray on the Nuggets. Here's John on the Jazz. It looks like Furter's on the over in this game. And is it Ray? Oh, Ray's on the okay. Gotcha, Ray. Okay, thank you. Jay likes the series history here with Utah and the Denver here. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Okay. Give me the over in this. I'll take over. I know the Sharps. I know my buddies are going under. My buddies, the Sharps. But I do fade them as often as I tail them. And the Magic are going to be in LA to take on the Lakers. And the Lakers here are a 2-point favorite. The total is down to 218 on some widely reported steam that came in on the under. In this one with Magic and Lakers. All right. Let's see. This one opened as high as Lakers -4, but obviously ticked down here a little bit with the Lakers, maybe probably off the overtime, I would guess, last night, playing that overtime game uh, against the Kings. It was a tough game, certainly. With the Kings winning and all. I mean, the certainly the move is related to the fact that they had to exert more energy, play an extra quarter, and all that. I would think that's why we've seen the move. Lakers obviously, older team, right? So, but here they are favored by just 2 points at home against Orlando, and well, I like the direction. I like the Lakers' plan to a certain extent. What's going on right now, and we'll see back to back. Don't know how it's going to work with, you know, some of the patterns of uh, rest, substitution, all that. I don't think that's what we're necessarily seeing in the line here today. No indication that the stars will be out for the Lakers in this one. So, like I said, the move probably based on that, overtime game. Now, to me, Orlando is gonna. I'm kind of high on Orlando, especially defensively. I think they'll continue to improve. I think they have the personnel to be a better defensive team this season, and I'm pretty high on them. Actually, they're off to the 2-0 start, so I guess it's kind of easy to just say, "Hey, look, I'm like Orlando." But and the Lakers, don't forget, they're 1-2. Uh, you know, uh, cause for concern, if anything, right? I don't know about that, but Lakers off the overtime loss. Now they did beat Phoenix here at home as a 6.5 point favorite, without the Phoenix Stars in the lineup, certainly. But Lakers 0-3 against the spread thus far. So I don't know. This is a spot for me. I'm probably going to try the Lakers. Oh, sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry about that. It was a fun Sunday, wasn't it, you guys? Here comes the comments here. Thomas says the Lakers are going to get this one. I'm going with the Lakers in this one as well. John's on the Magic. Burner leaning to the Lakers. Jay's on Orlando today. Burner's on the over. I think Trey on the Lakers.